They think it's strange when people don't close their curtains at night. And you drive by and can see into their house? The people across the street from me never close their curtains at night. So when they have the lights on at night you can see them sitting in their living room watching TV. It just is super weird to me. But I guess some people don't mind. I come from post-USSR country and here old generations always close curtains just because there were people who would get you in trouble with KGB if they see that you do or have something they don't. Those who were born in free country will never understand it. I myself almost don't use the curtains just because I feel free that I don't have to. One night I was driving for DoorDash and looking for a house, so I was driving slow and trying to find the house in the dark, and saw not one, but two naked people at separate houses. I absolutely thought it was a weird coincidence because it had never happened to me before and then bam. Two within 5 minutes. They were both on the second story of their home so yeah, maybe the second story isn't safe either. The windows on both houses were huge though so if they were just regular windows I probably wouldn't have even noticed them. One time I was walking the dog and I saw some kind of motion to my left. I looked up and found myself looking through a window at a chick undressing. Being only human. I stared stupidly for a moment. Then put my head down and hustled away before someone thought I was a peeping Tom. I don't close mine until I'm going to sleep, unless I'm getting dressed, because it makes the room feel smaller/claustrophobic. I like to be able to see the stars from my living room as well. I live rurally but even when I lived in the city for university I left them open because I like seeing the sky and the lights outside. Just don't look if you don't want to see people watching TV or reading a book or whatever. Doing normal human stuff. What do female writers do poorly when writing male characters? The Jane Austen book Pride and Prejudice is the ultimate in female romantic fantasy of men come to life, the seemingly bad, brooding, rich guy Darcy turns out to be secretly good and therefore justifies Elizabeth's crush on him. The seemingly nice, forthright, pleasant man Wickham turns out to be a manipulative abuser and therefore it's totally right to find him unattractive. That book resonates with so many women really says a lot. It's, amongst other things, a moral justification of the desire of women for the brooding seemingly bad guy and a moral justification for the repulsion of the seemingly nice, upfront guy. The most interesting ones I've seen are how women write conversations between men. They'll write dialogue like they're in a frat house. Like they're 35-year-old women catching up over brunch. Or like they're business executives. In my experience men will talk while doing an activity. Usually talking about nothing in particular. Then one guy will bring up a vulnerable topic that's troubling him in a carefully reserved or lighthearted way. He'll get a few genuine responses and then they'll make a joke and talk about something else. Rinse and repeat until activity is over. They don't take in account that a lot of men don't have a good emotional support. If they have to deal with hard life events, they might have to deal with it alone or with the support of few people and maybe with some scornful comment, man up and quat. Don't be poo dollar y and quat. Etc., who can come from anyone, friends and quat. Family. Other men. Women. Hence a lot of creepy characters who are just creepy for the sake of being creepy. Creep exist and not every creepy person should have a compelling backstory. What scares you the most about today's reality? We're expending nearly 100% of our effort, political and social, essentially on not sliding into a truly awful future that's worse than we were on track for 10 years ago. When we need to actually be working on a world our grandkids won't curse our names for handing them. I think about that a lot. I would a lot rather be figuring out how to make sure the next few generations have a natural world that'll support them and a social and political system that works well for them while being just and kind and inclusive. But right now a lot of effort is going into just what if we didn't decide to embrace totalitarianism and anti-intellectualism ? And quat. How completely unbothered Americans are by the state of our government and country as a whole. $9.00 for eggs? Just go post about it on social media but take zero efforts to make an actual change. Crumbling healthcare system? Go on TikTok, live while in the ER for those likes while complaining about the treatment you're getting, or not getting. We've become so desensitized to everything that's happening that we just accept it instead of protesting in the streets and doing things to cause things to change. The fact I've always seen myself as a low-life sort of person. Then I think I'm an addict and am as honest today as never before. But around and in every profession in life from the lowest to the highest there's a severe lack of talented bosses. Plenty of good staff. But in 90% companies have let manager and senior jobs to complete no's who have pulled on one of the many cards in the can't sack/blame/accuse me box. And they are often promoted over far superior workers who then have to cover for a knob who hasn't a clue. And you can sack for calling someone a name. My God. Should have heard the names in the prepackaged factories and building sites. From women to a 15-year-old boy. Gee, sticks and stones. They find the smell of Vicks relaxing? Yes. But especially the lavender and the lemon one. Yes, I love Vicks. I definitely use smells to help me to feel calm like lavender or smells to make me feel grounded and positive like bergamot, lemon, etc. But the smell of Vicks for me isn't calming. I just associate with the memory of being sick. I'm not so keen on the smell of eucalyptus because of it. I guess. I've used it even when I was a kid. Even now. It helps me sleep better when I have a stuffy nose. Eli 5, why do Redditors write edit in their comments? And then explain they fixed a grammar error. When no one can tell if they edited anything in the first place. Greater than when no one can tell if they edited anything in the first place? You can certainly tell on desktop. Greater than Toonament 8087 points 15 hours ago, last edited 1 hour ago. In fact, if you hover your mouse over last edited 1 hour ago and quat, it will tell you exactly when it was last edited. But yes, it became an unofficial rule here at Reddit to prevent monkey business. For example, to prevent someone from posting something like all Republicans should be shot and quat. Then waiting for a bunch of amen to that. And right on. Brother. Replies. Then editing it to say all Democrats should be shot or all New York Yankees fans should be shot and quat. The only time I do this is if someone has pointed something out in the responses below and I have to go up and edit for clarity or as you said spelling. If one person mentions a bad spelling or grammar error you can rest assured others will too. Editing prevents the needless repeat unnecessary comments. To keep that person's response from looking misplaced I put edit in my note. There was an issue at one point in time that when people were they would change the post to make all of the people calling them out sound like they were being bullies. I'm not sure if you could see that something was edited then. But it became a custom to acknowledge when you edit something so that people don't call you out for changing the message in controversial posts. You don't need to acknowledge it much. My preferred is edit, damn you autocorrect and quat. People relate and most people don't care if you misspelled something, that does not apply to your of course.